Hi, I'm Renata Duma, and on behalf of CA for IT, I'd like to welcome you to our seminar on PSC risk, or Personal Service Corporation risk. Our seminar objective is to provide independent contractors, recruiters, staffing agencies, management, and corporate leaders with a solid understanding of the current situation pertaining to the Canada Revenue Agency's position on PSC risk, a very real risk that personally incorporated individuals currently face in Canada. Joining me in this discussion are Robert Novoselak, Business Administrator for CA for IT. I'm also here with Terry Power, former President of Sapphire Technologies Canada and current President of the NACCB, or National Association of Computer Consulting Businesses. On behalf of CA for IT, we hope you derive a significant benefit from today's panel discussion so you can learn just how you can protect yourself against personal service corporation risk. Thanks for watching. So, Terry, in light of the recent ICTC outlook, or today's Financial Post for that matter, the article referring to 106,000 IT openings are expected in the next 5 years. What does that mean to independent contractors?
I think it's going to present a great opportunity to independent contractors. What the report is talking about is that in the next 5 to 6 years, in terms of net new hiring, as well as replacement hiring because of demographic changes, there are significant openings somewhere in the vicinity of 18 to 20,000 roles a year in Canada, and we currently produce through the post-secondary system a little better than a third of that. So there are significant openings, and part of the value that independent contractors play is an ability to service multiple customers, sometimes even at the same time. But certainly over the course of a year or two, they can take their skill sets across many different organizations. So, I mean, the laws of supply and demand are no different in the labor market than any other market. If there's high demand and there's a lower supply, it's going to create opportunity. And I think for independent contractors, it's going to bode well. But the other point of the report that I think shouldn't be lost on people is that the changing role, or the changing nature of the roles. There's significant uptake in the types of roles that are business oriented. So, where requirements for language skills, French and English, obviously in Canada, business skills, domain skills like e-health or e-commerce or whatnot, that's where much of the demand is going to be. So I would certainly also encourage an independent contractor to invest in their own future and try and upgrade not just their technical skill sets, and that's how most people think. We tend to think in terms of, these are my skills and how do I upgrade them. I would certainly encourage people in light of the outlook to upgrade their business-oriented skills and to think about how can they get more business experience or more industry experience or more domain experience or whatever, because that will certainly bode well for them in terms of opportunities as well.
Excellent. So can the average staffing agency be expected to understand what PCB risk is, and are they equipped to counsel clients about it?
I would say no, they're not. I mean, basically, we always, when we speak to recruiters or staffing agencies, we tell them that when somebody is thinking about leaving full-time employment and incorporating a company, starting their own business, that as Terry has said before in the panel discussion, that the best thing to do is to seek out professional help, both accounting and legal advice. And I think that same with the PSC issue. A lot of accountants don't understand the issue, much less staffing agencies. And I don't think they want to be in a position of giving legal or accounting advice. What they should do when somebody's first going to, I guess, start a business and get incorporated, that's one set of advice, legal and accounting advice. But then also when it comes to the PSC issue, I think the main thing is that the staffing agencies have an obligation to make the client aware of the risk, and then counsel them that this risk exists and that they should go and seek some professional accounting advice to what steps can be taken to minimize that risk. I don't really think the agency should be giving out any specific incorporation or PSC advice, but just to be aware that this is not a do-it-yourself thing, that the contractors should get professional help on that.
And they should also probably get professional help that is specializing in that area as opposed to a different area of chartered accountancy. Isn't that correct?
Well, yeah, basically it is that I guess when it comes, like, just in, for PSC risk in general, I mean, we tell people that I guess it's they always look at it as a low risk. They might say, well, you know, out of 100 contractors, only one might end up with a PSC audit, and we tell them that, you know, this is basically true, but however, risk is made up of probability and consequences, and so we tell them the probability is minor, but the consequences can be devastating, because some of these PSC audits, if you're deemed to be reasonably regarded as an employee, the effect can be over $100,000 in personal or more in personal corporate taxes, and so it's very similar to why you buy life and disability insurance. The probability is minor, but the consequences can be devastating. And then with PSC risk, I guess, just in general, the other comment that I would make, I guess, to people is that, you know, there's sort of the bad news is that although society has become more accepting of the, I guess, the freelance worker and the contractor type of lifestyle as opposed to permanent employment, even the tax courts have become more accepting of it. The CRA remains the only ones that have not become accepting of it, and it's unlikely that they will, because their focus is to interpret the rules in the way that maximizes tax. And so the bad news with PSC risk is that the CRA will, I think, continue to go on and make special projects and audit people for PSC risk and issue large reassessments. That's the bad news. But the good news on PSC risk is that if you work with an accounting firm that specializes in that risk, that the, I guess the good news is you can basically, I believe, totally eliminate the risk with both preventative and also defensive measures. And at CA4IT, for example, since 1984, we have never lost a major PSC case.
Terry, what's your take on it? In terms of the staffing agency in particular, do you think that they should be able to counsel people or just direct them?
Yeah, I agree with Bob's point. You know what, I think your question initially was, you know, do they have the means? If they don't have the means, then they can't afford to not understand this issue. Like, you just simply cannot afford to not understand the issue. So I think, again, if you're not, you know, many firms start out the same way. It's a small number of people. You build your business over time, and, you know, you hire professional resources along the way. You know, this is an issue that is very significant to the industry. The association is fully aware of it, and there are resources like Bob and his organization that, you know, will offer advice. So, you know, the best advice I could give, I've been in the space 13 years, it is an important issue to understand, and if you don't have the means internally to deal with it, seek it outside, and NACCB is quite happy to help, because what matters to individual members matters to us as an association.
That's great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.